घर चाहे कैसा भी हो, उसके कोने में खुलकर हंसने की जगह रखना। सूरज कितना भी दूर हो, उसको घर आने का रास्ता देना।
No matter how many times I enter this house, it's always super overwhelming. It's really surreal sometimes.
People are saying, wow, what a beautiful house you have put this. So many buildings are coming, but not my house like. My house, the only unique house in Panjim.
Goa is experiencing extreme heat this year. The temperatures have soared. I believe that the solutions are there in nature. And we've been fortunate enough that through our experiments with earth, mud, and mud building, we've also been able to understand the thermal comfort in each of the buildings that we've been working with. Welcome to Dhara. Dhara basically means earth and water and rootedness. Come along. Dhara is a house of courtyards, and while the footprint is just about 25%, it has a lot of verandas and spaces that make the house very open, luxurious, though the space is very compact.
We come from a very humble background. My childhood and early college were spent in a chawl, where we just had one room, where my parents, me, brother, my grandfather would live there. That was one of the reasons we didn't want to live in Mumbai. I mean, our idea for the house is bedrooms only for sleeping. The rest, all our lives should be outdoor, like maybe in veranda or
Thank God he
even
has walls for the bedrooms.
This is the central space, the heart of the building, which is the living room, which is contiguous, freely flowing into the dining and the kitchen. In each direction, we have courtyards. So we have a north courtyard, which is the entrance courtyard. The south courtyard is the one which is facing the fields. And in the east-west direction, also we have a set of courtyards which help in creating this or channelizing the airflow which comes from the south and pushes the air out into these three directions. And it also pushes the air out to the upper level because of this double height space.
You get to be indoor as well as outdoor in an indoor space actually. Just to be in nature, it's just a very peaceful space and a very positive space. So, yeah.
So basically, when Danish mentioned that we are going to have this rammed earth house, I thought rammed earth, matiचं घर, that's what we say. Would it stay, for 25 years or 30 years or 50 years? But now, of course, I'm happy, but I was not for it.
If you're going to build with cement concrete, then you're building like a hothouse because cement is a material which not only absorbs heat, it retains heat and then releases it, making living very difficult. When you use walls which are more natural, which are rammed earth or poured earth, or even natural walls like laterite stone, you are able to bring down the indoor temperatures by about 5 degrees. So some of the walls were built using a mixture of the soil, lateritic soil. When you add active lime to it, it mixes with a very strong reaction to convert into very hard walls, And some of the walls have withstood, the cyclone in May many years ago. The other features are the use of non-RCC slabs, and these are essentially the jack arches, which has brick and steel members forming the flat slabs. All the roofs in the house are sloping roofs with the traditional system of using wood and mangrove tiles. In this case, we've used a false ceiling tile, so there are 2 terracotta tiles which further help in insulating the roof and keeping the temperatures down.
One of our relatives, when they entered, they called it mati. So I'm not sure whether you heard this word mati. Mati is like a temple sanctorum. The weather inside, it's not so hot even if you're sitting inside, because once you open all the windows and doors, you have big French doors. There's a good ventilation across, and that keeps the rooms cool.
We've used a window seat in this little narrow passage which overlooks the living space. The volume of the space is important because it allows hot air to rise, and we have these louvered shutters here which allow the hot air to escape, and it pulls in cool air. So we have a lot of these interesting windows, punctures to aid cross ventilation again. All the bedrooms have this staggered roof, and what we do is we allow for a little cross ventilation at the top within the room space, which allows hot air to escape and pulls in cool air. And of course, the strategic location of the doors and windows and various other openings with balconies that are shaded and which aid in a lot of cool air to keep the temperatures in the indoor spaces down.
There was one project which was done by school children, and they had come to see the temperature differences between our house and concrete houses, and there was a definitely palpable, noticeable difference inside our house by 3 degrees.
Every corner of this house has a very personal touch from me, my mom, and my dad, and all my relatives as well. Whoever has been a part of, the making and the whole process of this house. All of us are very nature-loving people, and we really, really love plants around us. It feels so homely and comforting.
For all their functions, parties, birthdays and whatnot, all my clan would come here, or her clan would come here and spend a good time together.
Our family members, they all know that every year 31st is going to be in Goa.
Every site or every location has its assets. What are these assets? Do they have trees? What kind of trees are there? Does it have a water body? Does it have a wetland? Now, how much can we conserve these assets? My reference is nature. You look at animals in nature till date, they are taking found materials and they're building their nests, building their homes with least destruction to the environment. Like Laurie Baker said, all the soil that you needed for building is there on your plot. But today there's great potential in using debris and waste material because buildings are being brought down. You do have, excavation and soil which is dumped elsewhere. So that itself becomes a large part of your building material stock. This building is unique in a way that we've looked at only debris, waste material as much as possible because Goa is going through a crisis at the moment with resource crunch. We are not able to get laterite stone, even let's say earth, because earth is coming from cutting a hill somewhere. We use soil from a nearby site where there was excavated soil and dumped and kept there, possibly to be dumped, lower in the fields. So we took that gravel soil and we have used a couple of technologies here. One is rammed earth with 5% stabilizer, and it has been left out in the rains for 1 year for testing. And the other one is poured earth. Predominantly, we found that the results with poured earth were amazing because of using lateritic gravel soil. Lateritic soil is like a magic material because it has a lot of other minerals. And if you pug it, the moment you add water to it, it gets a sticky kind of property, which is ideal for using it in poured earth or rammed earth. और ये तुमको ऐसा कट करना पड़ेगा ना. And we also looked at affordability, whether we could build, in a small budget. Most of our material is almost free, you can say, other than paying for transport. Our target is to achieve building maybe in 10,000 per square meter or 15, which is almost half or less than, the current rate, which is 25,000 per square meter. 10 years ago, I had a couple. They were an elderly couple, and they were very committed to looking at mud and of course affordability because they were a very small budget. So we started our experiments with mud there. It was in the year 2020 that we built Panjim's first contemporary mud house called Villa Doriyalar. In Konkani, Doriya means the sea and Lar or Lara means waves. So sea waves.
Hello, you're most welcome to my house, Villa Doriyalar.
It's a very urban context, but the natural beauty is what is something that the owners wanted to have a connection to.
This is my bedroom. Only one bedroom, one bed for me alone. So come. This is my dog, Muffy. Okay, come. Now we'll go up. Come, Talula, you also come now.
Its features are veranda and little balconies, all done with woodwork reminiscent of the traditional form and material used in old houses. It has double height spaces which play with the light and aid cross ventilation, which are very, very critical and again are drawn from the traditional old Goan homes. The requirement from the client also was to preserve all the coconut trees in the memory of their dear father, and also to build it with natural material, to build it with a strong context of Goa.
They roam the whole thing up, down. From top they throw the toys away, carry the toys. Yes, they enjoy.
घर चाहे कैसा भी हो, घर के एक कोने में खुलकर हंसने की जगह रखना, चाहे जिधर से गुजरिए मीठी सी हलचल मचा देना।